And cue our music.
Fins up.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins
The green train is running.
And I'll say Evan.
That's good. You're sore, but I don't have to be.
It's a win.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins
And we won. It was amazing.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fins Talk. Today, I'm your host, Bobby Fins Talk, joined by the one, the only Fish Tank Hank. Hank, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on?
What's
You know-
up, dude?
Today, I got a table in. You know what I mean? Like one of those dining tables.
Okay.
And my wife and I, we, laid the table down and we put the legs in it and everything else. Now we can't lift the thing up off the floor to flip it up. It's too heavy.
Oh, no. You're going to have to do one of those. You're going to have to be like one of those people that eat dinner on Indian style, sitting down with legs crossed.
I'm gonna have to go find a couple Hercules guys to come into my house and lift this thing up now.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's, wow, quite a predicament for you.
Yeah, I got a new sofa. We're getting new furniture, is what it is. We're getting new furniture and repainting the place because we just bought the place as is, and it came with temporary furniture and all that. So we're trying to get some pieces done, and we still got to paint. So
There you go. What's up, Aladino? Thank you for tuning in. Crazy Antsy. Appreciate you, everyone tuning in. Thank you. If you're watching on Twitch,
Fins up.
YouTube,
Good afternoon.
Twitter, Facebook, thank you for tuning in, watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button. Man, we got so much to talk about, so much little time, but we're gonna have a lot of fun. Hank, first off,
Yes, sir.
let's run it down for some people here. So we're talking, why wouldn't we? Everyone else does. We're gonna talk a little Tua today. We're gonna talk.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk to it. Nobody ever
Shocking,
does
right?
that.
Shocking. We're going to talk the Dolphins defense. Has it improved? And if so, how much do we expect it to improve during the season? We're gonna talk about, and we're going to get into the NFL draft, plus run a live mock draft simulator. You're going to have a turn. I'll have a turn. We're going to have some fun.
All right.
So before we do all that draft talk, let's talk some Dolphins. Antsy already has his response in here because the show topic of the day is will over and under. Tua in his first, I don't know if you could count his first season because he didn't play the first part of it because it was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then they benched Fitzpatrick, put Tua in. Then they benched Tua for one game. So he played only 9 games.
First year.
They only played 9 games. The second season, 13 games. Last season, 13 games. So the question is, would you for next season? We know the question marks in regards of injuries, okay? And it's not just concussions. Everybody wants to talk about concussions, but also other issues he's had throughout his football career, college, and pros. Would you take the over or the under of 13 games? Do you expect them to play or just 13 games?
All
Or do
right.
you expect them to, hey, Bobby, I expect under. He's only going to play 10. God help us all.
Well,
Or you say, no, Bobby, he's going to play over. I'm going to say over and give you a reason why.
yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to say over, but you'll say over in a minute.
I will. But you tell me, what do you think?
First of all, Bobby, inherently, quarterbacks do tend to get hurt, regardless of who they are, regardless of which team they're on, regardless of what offensive line you have. Okay? Quarterbacks get hurt. It's just the way it is. They get hurt. You saw Mahomes playing through like a sprained ankle or whatever it was, ankle sprain or whatever they called it. I don't know what they wound up calling it in the end, but so it's not it's kind of a gamble no matter which quarterback it is to start with. Okay. There's no given that any quarterback's going to go 17 games to start with. But when Tua goes 20 games and into the Super Bowl, I'm not too concerned about it. So I'm going to say over.
Over. So you say 20 games?
Well, yeah, he's got to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Okay. We did this last year. Now I'm starting to remember. We did talk about this last year. And I remember because you told me kind of the same thing. And it was like, oh, hey, I don't know about 20 games.
Morning, Steve.
What's
I'm
up,
just
Steve?
screwing with Bobby so far.
Yeah, you are. I knew you did. As soon as you did it, I'm like, oh, he did this to me last year. Yeah, the hope and dream would be 20 games. But, I'm going to say, though, I don't think it will be 20 games. He will miss a game. He might miss 2. It happens. That's what you can expect. I don't think you can bet that he'll last the whole season.
You can expect most quarterbacks are going to be out 1 to 2 games
most
each year.
Some more than others, but
yes, some more than
sometimes
others,
you miss a
especially
game.
if you have the Great Wall of China in front of your offensive line. Of course, you're not too concerned about your quarterback getting hurt.
Yeah, and just for people who are just tuning in, we are talking. Would you take the over or the under on Tua lasting more than 13 games as he's done the last 2 years? 13 games last year, 13 games the year before. Okay, I'm going to say I'm not going to break even. Okay, because even though that's a safe bet, and I'm not going to go under unless something terrible happens, and the dude, that's a worst case scenario. I don't see it, but I'm going to take the over, okay? I'm going to take
William
the over.
likes the over.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. What's up, William? Thank you for tuning in. Hammer time.
Hammer time's over.
And I'm
Steve
saying over
hits it
because
right at 13.
He says 13. And, hey, that's the safe bet, right? Where can you go wrong when it's been 13 2 years in a row? But I'm going to say over for this. He may get hurt. He may have somewhere where
a finger or something like
something may happen where some quarterbacks may say, I need to take a game off. But Tua is going to say, because I know he knows that's on him now.
How about if I say this, Bobby? Let me change it. Let me morph your question a little bit on you, okay?
Okay.
Will Tua have a concussion? No. That's the question you're asking. Will Tua have a concussion? No,
that's not the question I'm asking.
Well, I mean,
I know where you could go there, and you know what?
If he's out long term, it's probably a concussion more than likely.
Or it's a hip, or it's a back, or it's a shoulder.
It could be anything.
He's had all those,
He's had them all.
The popular one now.
If it's a concussion, we're talking a whole other ball game.
Yeah. If it's a concussion, which people are talking about now because of what he suffered 2-3 times last season. Okay.
Yes.
Which, again, they say he's not more likely to get a concussion than anybody else. That's what was said, that was released. We don't know how much is that true. All I know is that I'm going to take the over because I believe Tua is determined to play the over. And if I'm going to put a number on it, I'm going to say in regards of regular season, I'm not talking playoffs. The hope would be playoffs. I'm saying regular season. Okay.
I mean Super Bowl.
It's
all right. I keep catching where you're slipping.
You go ahead. You complete my sentences for me. I would say I'm going to say 15 games. That's going to be where I'm at. I'm going to say over 15 games. Okay.
He's going to play in
one
all
or
of them.
2 games. Could it happen? Yes. But I'm going to say 15 games. I have over. That's where I'm at. You're going to say 20 games because you're just pulling. I know what you're doing. You're sticking a needle and you're having fun with it. Cool. But I know you have over and I know you're legit on it. William says,
I'm over and I'm legit and I'm not messing. I think the boy's going to be healthy
absolutely.
all year.
Hey,
I think he'll be healthy all year.
And that's the hope and the dream.
Yeah. I'm just, I'm still a little concerned about right tackle, though. So,
hey, and that's what we're going to touch about. We're going to talk about that, okay? And let me just say, William, I appreciate you taking the time while you're at work watching the show. Please, we're going to be here for the next next 30, 40 minutes. That's what we do. Continue to put your comments. William. We see them. And once you're back, let us know. If we're not here, keep putting your comments in. We'll see them after the show, man. We appreciate you. Tune in every Saturday, brother. Like and subscribe. So, yeah. So we both picked the over. Steve stays at 13, which is a safe bet. I get it. Steve Malloy, you can catch him on Tuesday nights at 7:30 Eastern with Rob Mosley of DolphinsThirsty.com for a Real Talk Fins Talk, followed by the Fins Bandwagon with Evan Posner and Michael Vogel. And Michael Vogel has a lot to talk about too. I had to hold him back yesterday on the draft show. He wanted to go off. He is sick of the Tua hate. And I said, hey, keep it for the bandwagon. Keep it for the bandwagon. All right. So we're on the offensive side of the ball. We're talking Tua. We're talking his health. Again, I believe it's over because I believe that he is. Aladino says he's with you, Hank. I believe that Tua is determined to show he could play more than 13 games. I believe that it is his goal to last the whole season. It's usually every player's goal, but it's extra with him because he knows that eye is on him. It's not about can he play quarterback. It's not about can he be a good quarterback. Last year, he proved he can be. He proved it, okay? 8-3, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, when healthy. Now, yes, December, he struggled, okay? We know that. He got hurt, which is what we are worried about with him. That's the next questions he's going to have to answer.
I would say December, everybody struggled on the Miami Dolphins team, to be honest with you. We had hurt players. There was a lot going on.
That's fair.
To be fair.
But those are the next questions for Tua. Can you play good against top 10 defenses in December when games matter? And can you be available when games matter? So those are the next ones. And that's why I tell people, because it was a question last night, Fish Tank, when we were running the mock drafts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We had one of our viewers on, Anthony Manzano, a very nice dude. He actually traded up 32, I believe, which we said, okay, pause it. He didn't know who was going to be there. But when he ran the mock, he traded up for 32, and Will Levis of Kentucky was there, the quarterback, the big arm quarterback. And we kind of went, whoa, and he said, you know what? I'm rolling. I'm going with Levis. I'm going to go best player. I'm going to do it. And of course, everybody go, what? Wait a second. But at the end of it all, when we were talking about, because I was saying how the Dolphins are playing or doing this free agency and look like they're training for the draft because they did go to Penn State yesterday. We're going to touch on that. It looks like they're a team that believes the way they're running things, that they're on the cusp, that they are there. They are running this free agency like they are one of these playoff contending football teams. Not like they're desperate, but more like, hey, we're almost there. They're not going crazy. They did the Jalen Ramsey trade, okay? But they're like Kansas City, like these other guys. They have the talent. They just need to add the few pieces on there. And
they're getting ready to go into year 4.
Yeah. And
so something's got to, you got to elevate at some point in time.
And one of the questions that Anthony asked, and I don't hold it on him because it is a question for not most, but half the Dolphin fan base on Tua. How are we confident in this team winning anything if when we don't really have the quarterback or something like that? He asked. I know I'm paraphrasing, but I said, or no, doesn't that make you nervous that they're not addressing the quarterback? No. And I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why. First of all, quarterback is the least of our issues. That's the truth. You can believe whatever you want on Tua, okay, and that's okay, And I get it. You could have questions, you could doubt him, you could do that, but the least of our issues is the quarterback position. Tua proved last season that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I wouldn't put him in great. I'd put him in good. He's good. He is good. He's a very good starting quarterback when healthy. Okay. And you got him at $23.2 million next season.
He's at least 15 out of 32.
Absolutely. And what I would say too is that, and what I was saying yesterday to Anthony, and I don't hold it against him. I don't believe in, oh, this guy, if you think this guy sucks, you're not a Dolphin fan, or you're bull crap. You have every right to think of whatever you want for the player. Okay.
What's up, California?
What's up, California? But you got to look on the whole picture here. The least of the issues is the quarterback. And Miami right now, what they are setting themselves up for, first of all, there was nobody coming that would be better than Tua. Brady retired. Lamar Jackson's not going anywhere. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. So those options, stop dreaming. Let's move forward. But Tua's the best option. And it's a damn good option. Miami right now is taking their time. They're building out this roster, filling out all these needs. Okay. Best player available in the draft. Miami's going to have a very good roster with Tua at quarterback. If Tua plays less than 13 games next year, and me and Hank are wrong. If Tua goes into December and totally craps the bed and misses the playoffs with an injury and we lose out again, guess what happens? Am I worried if that happens? No, because guess what? Miami then has the roster. Their roster is set. Now what are they looking for? A quarterback who can stay healthy and be available.
Exactly.
Golden
and that's
opportunity.
2024.
And guess what? You have Tua, and people go, oh, but they accepted the offer. He's at $23.2 million. That's actually pretty damn good. You got a starting caliber quarterback at $23.2 million. You could keep him and draft the guy, Caleb Williams, maybe out of USC, or you could trade him to a team that says, we need a starting caliber quarterback. We're desperate. Trade him, game picks, and then go get your guy. Best win-win scenario, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Stop freaking out on the quarterback. Let's move forward. Now, go ahead, Hank. You have any follow-up points? I apologize.
Whew, man, I had a couple things I wanted to throw in there, but you were going off, so I
was rolling,
wanted
brother.
it to
I was
cool
rolling.
down a little bit. you know, like when it's like 90-something degrees out and the rain comes, and then you see the steam coming off the road. That's you right now, Bobby.
There you go.
I'm just laying back, letting you go, man.
Well, roll it. Get your points in there, sir.
No. Go ahead. Continue on, my friend.
Well, we're moving on to defense now, but if you have anything to say on Tua, you go right ahead, and we'll go on and talk about this defense, what we think about it.
You know, the Tua thing, people just need to close it down, have a giant cup of STFU, okay? And you have some of that, and you folks out there will be all right, because Tua's not going anywhere this year. If we really need a quarterback and he sucks it up and he gets beat up or whatever, his whole back is ripped, his whole spleen's ripped out, and they're hanging it there during the middle of the game with his skull still attached to it like it's freaking Predator or something. Okay, so if something like that happens, sure, we need a new quarterback. But right now, we don't need a new quarterback. I'm not worried about the quarterback.
So first off, thank you, the Back It Up Binge podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. He says, keep Tua upright. He will be fine. Utilize the running backs that gain 4.5 yards per carry, and Fangio delivers the defense everyone is expecting. They will go far. I'm going to say that we're going to talk on defense right now, and we're with you on that. I would say I am 1,000% in agreement with you on utilizing the backs. McDaniel didn't use the backs enough last year. McDaniel has to adjust. It can't just be a passing offense. He's a run game coordinator, or that's what his bread and butter is. He needs to get back to that, have a balanced attack. If you want to help your quarterback, you got to run the ball more than passing it 40 times with Tua. I know Tyreek and Jalen are great, but you got to do more than that.
And as far as the offense goes, right now, to me, the Miami Dolphins have a top 5 offense. You fix that right tackle, they have a top 3 offense. But until you fix that right tackle, I'm not convinced. Or you show me whoever you have can play at right tackle and support the team and the quarterback.
Well, and the Dolphins, and we talked about that as well, because everybody always says we need to do the offensive line. Miami doesn't invest in the offensive line. And I've said, Hank, I said this last year on our show. We've been going for a couple years. I've said the Dolphins have no issue investing in the offensive line. They've done it. Okay.
Yes.
They spent Leon Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, Robert Jones.
They just haven't hit.
They haven't hit. Connor Williams, Terran Armstead. they've invested in our offensive line. It's just they haven't hit and they haven't developed the players. Not the problem is not investment, it's development. Okay. And the Dolphins have said, hey, we trust our coaches, we trust our staff to get better by these players. And they could be blowing smoke. We've said that. They could be blowing smoke. They might
Could be smoke and mirrors just so that nobody knows who they're
But again,
picking.
if you look at the free agency market, there's not a lot of players that when you look at least on we're talking about right tackle that fit that side that you go, they have to get that guy. Basically, we're at the point where any free agent tackle that's there, right tackle wise, we go just sign him because he would be better than Austin Jackson. But really, Miami says, you know what, we could be desperate and sign him to a big deal, but it's not going to help us in the end. Miami, and trust me, I'm not a Chris Greer defender, but
neither am I.
No, but I like what he's done so far, and they're really setting themselves up to go best player available at 51, and best player available at 51 could be a tackle. Duron Jones, if he's still there, even though he's rising up boards. There's plenty of players there, and we're going to run the mock draft simulator to talk more about it. But I think Miami is comfortable where they're at, but I don't think they're just going to sleep on the offensive line in regards of adding a few more pieces. But I would tell people just to slow your roll and try to damper your expectations about what they're going to do. I think Miami has a plan, but I don't think it's some big make or break move that most people. I would love it. I wanted a right tackle last year. I mean, Hank and I did our free agency preview and wish list. When I wanted Trent Brown, the right tackle. Hank wanted Armstead. He got right on that. He hit on Armstead. But I was like, man, I think right tackle is the best move to go. And right now, that's what we're desperate for. We're desperate for a right tackle. So hopefully Miami moves to that. Left guard. Look, and then here's the other talk. It was
the fans are desperate, but it sounds like they're not.
Exactly. Absolutely right.
Confusing to me. I'm like, what the?
Yesterday, and this is something that Evan was doing the draft, and he picked up John Michael Schmitz, the center. I'm forgetting the college he's going to right now. Forgive me. Minnesota. He goes to Minnesota. And he goes, I want to move Connor Williams back to guard. I totally disagree with that. I would not fix what's not broken. Connor Williams was one of the better centers in the NFL. Okay, a lot better than when he played guard for the Cowboys. He was 11th best guard, but he was dampered with holding penalties. At center, he had a couple high snaps. Oh, whoop-de-freaking-do, let's cry a river. It happens all the time, okay? But he was one of the better centers in the NFL. Draft yourself a guard or get a guard who can play that position and compete with Eichenberg, but do not move Williams to left guard. It sounds nice because it sounds so easy to replace the center, but when the center who had one of the better years last year at that position and had 1 year of chemistry, 13 games worth of chemistry with Tua, it's going to get better next year. Stop changing out the center. It's just as important as the offensive coordinator.
If they were to get Michael Schmidt,
I
think it's John Michael Schmidt is his name,
That's
the center.
Right. He is.
If they were to pick him up and use him as depth and as a left guard, that might also work.
That's different. Too. Yeah, I'm down with that. And I like that. He's one of the
I'm just saying that
one
would
of the
be
better
the only scenario I see Miami going after a center.
Absolutely. One of the better interior offensive linemen in this draft. I would love that pick, but
if
not
he's
at the point
there, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I would move him to guard. I would figure that out and have him as a depth for center because Connor Williams, I would not touch. So let's move on, Hank. Let's talk about this defense. The Dolphins defense underachieved last year, sir. Despite showing flashes and potential, Miami responded by having up. And they won some games. They showed some flashes, but they fired their defensive coordinator. Okay, and they brought in Vic Fangio, one of the better defensive coordinators. Then they go out and trade for a Jalen Ramsey, sign a David Long, bring in a Malik Reed, who also has experience with Fangio. Brought back Andrew Van Ginkel. They brought Duke Riley. So looking at this defense as a whole, and it's not done because we got the draft, but looking at this defense, okay, that was about, I think, 18th last year. I know it's still early, and I know high feelings are high, but where can you said this offense could be top 5, but where can you exactly see this defense going?
Yeah, like I said, I think right now the offense is a top 5 team.
Yes, sir.
I truly believe that. And like I said, you fix a couple things. We still got a tight end issue too. So let's not sugarcoat
We
things.
do. Yep.
There are some things on offense that need to be addressed, and if they are addressed properly, I see a top 3 offense. And I'm talking competing with Kansas City Chiefs and whoever else you want to stick in there. So, as far as the defense goes, though, I like where the defense is at, but I still see the defense down around 10. Even with the improvements we've made, it's still around 10. And I'll tell you why. It's just simple how it works. You still need on defense and linebackers. I know we got Long, but there's no proof in the pudding on linebackers for us right now. And that could mean a lot of things. Somebody coming out of the backfield, linebackers supposed to cover. Tight end, the linebacker's supposed to cover, etc. Running back coming out, he's supposed to stop the run. I mean, the list goes on and on what linebackers are supposed to do. I don't need to sit here and explain it. But anyway, if they're not true, I don't see it happening. And until Miami can actually show me that their defense isn't suspect like it looked like it was, and until they address those couple things, I just don't think they're a top 5 yet. They still need a little more work done. And
I think you're right on the money. They were 18th last year with what they had, which is, it's not great, but it's not bad either. I think they could be right now, as they are, top 15. I think if they go into the draft, like you said, tight end is still an option, right tackle. That's why I'm telling people, damper your expectations because there are still a lot of needs. Miami could go linebacker with this 84th pick. They could go over Shown out of Texas, and I'm gonna. That would help. Yeah, and I think Miami I'd say 15 right now. Okay, that's where I'm from 18 to 15. Best case scenario, I'm gonna go 13. You got 10, I got 13 right now.
I'll tell you why I got 10, Bobby.
Defense. Yes, sir.
You know why I got 10 higher than you? Because I don't count those games where we were getting blown out. I don't think this defense is going to be like that. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt for those games where we just slipped it up and they went on by. I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
And that's fair. And I appreciate it. And I think I think you're on the money. I agree with you in regards of the still we have needs on defense. I would not be surprised if they go best player available at 51. It could be a tackle, the DT out of Baylor, because we don't know what's going to happen with Wilkins. We don't know what's going to happen with Sealer. Miami has to prepare for that. Miami might be okay at linebacker. They might say, you know what, we got Ginkle back, we got David Long, we got Malik Reed, Jerome Baker's still on the roster. We're okay. They might be, and they might go DT and surprise some people. Or or they might go luxury and go linebacker.
That's the problem with some of the players they've picked up. They're okay.
That's right. And
they're okay.
When healthy. Like David Long, when healthy.
Yes.
Tua, when healthy.
Yes.
Mozart, when healthy. It's always that same saying, and it's just what it is. So we're having fun, and I want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in. You're watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. We got a couple more things on the docket, so we're gonna have some fun. And please put in your comments what you're thinking, what you have to think about our defense. Where do you think they could rank? I know it's a little early, but still, with everything that Miami has done in free agency in regards to Vic Fangio and the free agency, where do you see them ranked next season? We still have the draft, so we'll touch back on this later on. But let us know what you think. And do you think the over or the under on Tua playing 13 games next season? Moving on, let's talk about the draft, Fish Tank, before we get into our mock draft simulator here.
Bonjour.
Evan's in the house. Holy crap. Took you long enough. Okay, so pick 51, Fish Tank.
Yes.
Okay. We talked offensive line. So we're gonna go pick by pick here, and you don't have to go too great into detail, but go as far as you can. Pick 51. Give me at least 3 positions that you would target with that pick if you had to. And you could say, hey, Bobby, I'd go best player available. I don't care what the pick is, But if you say, no, these are the 3 positions they should target.
No, I think it'll either be tackle, running back, or linebacker would be what I would go after.
Okay, so offensive tackle, right tackle, running back,
Yep.
or linebacker with those picks. Okay.
Yes, and the reason why I throw the running back in there is because we might have somebody fabulous that's sitting right there. And don't forget the tight end. I can't, did I say tight end?
You didn't say tight end, but that's okay.
Okay.
That's
Don't
okay.
forget the tight end because tight end's more important than running back. I just say the running back, I'll be looking at the running back because if somebody falls into our lap that's really that good, maybe jump on them. We'll see.
So let me put this here because I don't want to.
I would say right tackle, tight end, and linebacker are my top three.
All right, so that is Fish Tank's thing for me. I'm best player available. That's my first one is best player available. Fish Tank, because I think Miami has set themselves up for that. The tight end is the major key. Okay, so best player available, tight end could be Tucker Kraft. Okay,
Could be Kincaid.
And I'm going to be offensive line. Let me just say about Kincaid. Obviously, offensive threat, big time weapon, but Miami yesterday went to Penn State. They talked to Brenton Strange out of Penn State. They talked to a few people. Brenton Strange kind of showed, and which is obvious, what type of tight end they're looking for. They're looking for a very good blocking, pass catching tight end. Kincaid is not that. He's a better version of what Gesicki was when he came out. So Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer, Tucker Kraft, Cam Latu out of Alabama. Those type of players, those type of tight ends is what I'm thinking about.
If we got Darnell Washington, that would be a dream come true. So.
Oh, absolutely. But I have a feeling he's going to go in the first round, and maybe Michael Mayer may fail. But yeah, so you got right tackle, tight end, linebacker at pick 84. Where are you rolling? What top two or three positions would you go with that pick?
Well, around the 80s.
Would it be running back at that point?
It might be running back at that point, like you said. It could be running back, or I was on another train. Linebacker still.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of good linebackers, a lot of depth at linebacker.
Absolutely.
And depending on what you do in the first pick, too, if you go for a tight end, then I'm not going to go for a tight end. But if you go for a right tackle instead, but right around there, Cody Mock might be available.
So offensive line right there. Okay. So
yeah.
So that's interior offensive line. So okay. So and there you got halfback, linebacker, interior offensive line. And again, you might not take one of those three positions. Obviously, you may go RT, right tackle, linebacker at those two picks. And then so now, what's up, King Short? Now you need a tight end in round 97. So 197. You're sitting there. Let's see. So where would you go there? You got interior offensive line.
Best player available.
All right. BPA. All right. And then 238.
Same.
Best player available. Keep it short and sweet. Okay.
Yep.
So there you go.
I know Greer. He's going to dig into some undrafted free agents too.
He is. And I think that has a lot to do with the Penn State visit yesterday. Talking about Penn State, we were discussing that. We discussed that last night, and why am I bringing it up here? So, yesterday, Richard, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in. Let me see. Trading Christian Wilkins for draft capital is an option. Cheaper contracts and 2 players to 1, but you can't miss. Again, we've talked about that. I believe it is an option. I'd hate to lose him, but when you got Zach Sealer coming up on a contract year, you got Christian Wilkins coming up on a contract year. Obviously, say, you know what? I mean, I may keep Christian Wilkins, even though Sealer is a very good player. Truth is, how much capital can you get back for Sealer compared to Wilkins? Wilkins is your best bet. Hate to lose him, but if we had to trade somebody out of those two, it'd have to be him because he'd give you the most. All right, so Hendon Hooker, geez, Lou.
Okay, so let's do a draft.
Yeah, let's do it. We got our position needs, but you don't have to stick with that. But now we're at the 34-minute mark. Fish Tank Hanks would get the first try. We're going to do a live mock draft simulator. We're going to get to 51 Fish Tank, and then if somebody offers you a deal, we'll go over it. And you say, Bobby, I'm going to go with that deal. Or you can say, no, I'm just going to stick with my pick and go get the player. Yeah, guys, if you could see the players on the board, tell us who you would pick with those
Yeah,
options
tell
that
us
are
who
available.
you would pick, because
Available.
every time I do one of these, people say, "Oh, I would pick that person." Well, that person wasn't there.
That's right. So there we
9
go.
out of 10 times, somebody wants somebody that wasn't there
It
when I
happens.
do mock drafts.
And exactly. So now they get to see it. So here we go. All right. So it's all 7 rounds, which Miami has 4 picks, but that could change if Hank makes a trade, or somebody offers Hank a trade and gives him like 3 more picks. But let's go. We're gonna go ahead. Let's draft. Let's allow the draft to play out. Wow, CJ and Bryce Young go off the board first, which is more than likely to happen. So this might be a realistic trade going down here, draft going
I
on.
like it. I like it.
All right, here we go.
Fins up, King Short.
All right, here we go, Fish Tank. You
Yes,
have
sir.
a trade offer. You got one trade offer. You got the Dallas Cowboys. They are offering 58 and 129 for 51 and 238. So you would trade down 7
Ooh.
spots, but also trade up from the 7th round into a very high 129. What do you want to do here, sir?
Ooh, I really like that.
Roll with it.
Who's on the board? Let me see who's on the board.
Who's on the board? Well, best player available is Garvin Dexter, defensive lineman out of Florida, with Cansey out of Pitt. So 3 D tackles are the best players available. Zach Charbonnet, who I discussed last night on the draft show, is still on the board. Kincaid, who you just brought up. Derek Hall, edge rusher.
I'm gonna trade it.
All right, he's going to trade down a few spots and trade up for the 7th round. Let me go ahead, accept that offer. Let's see who's still on the board. Okay, you got another offer on the board. Wow, Dexter is still there. Charbonnet is still there. So you got 58 and 197 for 74 and a 3rd rounder next year from Cleveland.
No.
And then Dallas has offered another one for 90 for the same trade. They want to get back their 129 and 58 for 90 and a 2nd next year. No. All right. So now you got it. You're drafting a player here. Hendon Hooker is still on the board. Evan's favorite. Linebacker Noah Sewell from your neck of the woods back in Oregon. Dalton, he's a linebacker.
Noah Sewell.
All right, rolling linebacker Noah Sewell off the board for Fish Tank. His first pick.
I like Noah Sewell.
Yes, I do. Yes, I would too. All right, so more offers here. You got 84 Broncos. You got the 84th pick for 108 and a 3rd rounder next year.
Nah.
And then there's another one. 88 for 84. You would trade a 7th for next year and a 5th for the next year.
Yeah, that's doable.
Okay.
Let's see who's on the board first.
Okay. So best player available, safety Sidney Brown, D tackle Maisie Smith, linebacker Ivan Pace. You got a linebacker in the first pick, but you can double dip.
We already got a linebacker. So
Yep. Corner Jalen Jones, wide receiver Trey Palmer, offensive tackle.
Trade it.
Okay, so to trade down and go higher next year. Let me go ahead and move down 4 spots. Okay. The Jags are offering a deal 88, 197 for 121 and a 2024 3rd round pick.
I don't think so.
All right, so you're making a pick here at 88. We talked, the same guys are still on the board. Warren McClendon, right tackle out of Georgia, is still on the board. Let's go. Running back Israel Abanikanda, one of my favorites. Ground and pound back, big production. Condre Miller. Tight end Cameron Latou.
Let's go with the tackle.
All right, so you're going to go right tackle Warren McClendon out of
Absolutely.
Georgia. Love it. Okay. Cool. We're scrolling down here. And again, guys, you're watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button. We are doing our mock draft simulator. So as we're making these moves and as you're seeing these options fall on the board, tell us who you would pick at that pick with those options. All right, Fish Tank, you have a big trade offer here. Sean McVay calls up his friend Mike McDaniel with Chris Greer and says, hey, I'll give you 167, 171, and 177 of this season, of this draft, for 129 and a 24 6th round pick. Where are you going with this?
Who's on the board?
All right.
I got to see who's there before I make that kind of decision.
All right. So, Hank, let me just run this down. Hank right now at pick 58 got Noah Sewell, linebacker. And then with 88, went Warren McClendon, offensive tackle out of Georgia. So that's
Yep.
where you are right now. So we got 2 running backs on the top of the board. We got Condre Miller out of TCU. You got Sean Tucker out of Syracuse. You got a D tackle, Jacqueline Roy out of LSU. You have Andrew Voorhees, offensive guard, who outperformed everybody, a lot of people in the combine, and outbenched everybody, even though he had a tore ACL. I think he's going to go higher than that, but he's on the board. He's falling. So that's what you got. You want me to check on any specific position for you?
No, we're going to take Andrew.
Andrew Voorhees. I love that move. Andrew Voorhees. So you skip the trade.
Yeah,
down.
I think he's
Goes
going to.
Andrew
I
Voorhees.
think he would just blow it up, man.
All right. Andrew Voorhees goes off the board to the Miami Dolphins. So you got a tackle and a guard. Look at that. And then Voorhees at that point would miss half the season. But when he comes in, he's an easy start over Eichenberg, unless Eichenberg, of course, shocks the world. All right. You're at 197. I believe that is your final pick. No trade offers on the table. You have you got a tackle, a linebacker, and a guard.
We need a tight end. What do we got at tight end available?
Let's take a look. Tight end, you got Marshawn Ford out of Louisville. You got Josh Ryle. Brenton Strange is still on the board, the Penn State tight end that they met with yesterday.
We're going to take Strange.
All right, there you go. So Fish Tank draft is on the books. Go ahead and there you go. No Salt. Love Charbonnet. King Short says. Sewell, take it. Hendon Hooker, take it. Only reason to trade Wilkins would be to acquire enough capital.
Look at
to move
that.
up
3
next year and get
offense
big.
and 1 D.
There you go. So that's the Fish Tank, guys. So tell us what you think about Fish Tank Hank's mock draft, how he with his trades, with his players. I like he filled 3 big, he actually filled 4 needs, didn't go running back, but that's okay because Miami have set themselves up where they could go running back, but they also could just be just fine with Mozart and Jeff Wilson. They both went over 800 yards.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like Charbonnet too, but
Love Charbonnet. All right.
yeah.
Let's go ahead and start this back up and let me roll with it. Make this fast, quick, and to the point. All right. So we'll let the draft play out.
Thanks, King Short.
Oh, come on. Damn it. Michael Mayer and Charbonnet. Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington and Michael Mayer were both on the board, but they just fell off. Zach Charbonnet just got picked up. I am going to take this pick because I'm going to move up from 197 to 125 and just trade down 3 spots. So
Definitely.
equal picks, but just trading down for a little bit and trading up a lot.
I like that motion. I concur.
All right. So Cowboys offering want 54 and 125 for 58 and 3rd round pick. I'm going to reject that. And the Saints here are offering 71 and 115 and a 4th round pick for 54 and 238. You trade up majorly from the 7th round pick, but you know what? I'm going to hold off. I'm going to reject that deal. Okay. And I'm going to look. And
We got Luke Musgrave.
Musgrave is there. Let me see. All right. You know what? I like that guy, man. I am going to go. I'm going to go D tackle out of Baylor, Siaka Ika. I like him. Strong, physical, big, and gives you flexibility to make a move if you have to in regards of Christian Wilkins or company. All right, so here we go. So not going to take the Giants deal, 89 and a 4th round next year for 84 and 238. I don't want to give up my picks, but I will take the Browns deal. I'm going to trade down from 84 to 98 and trade up from 238 to 126.
Yeah,
So
good move. Good move.
And there, okay. So this one I could gain a pick with the Browns, 198 and 7th round next year for 111 and 140. And I'm looking at the board here. I could see Mozzie Smith, another D tackles on the board. A.T. Perry, wide receiver. Bergeron, offensive tackle out of Syracuse. Condre Miller, Henley linebacker. I believe these players some of them will still be on the board at 111. So I'm going to gain a pick. I'm going to accept this offer, Fish Tank.
Oh,
I'm going to shock people there. I'm going to take that offer. And there you go. Look at that. Got another trade there. Let me take a look at this very quick. So I gained one pick. All right. But, oh, man, I don't know if I could. Let me take a look here. I got two top linebackers on the board, 122 and 166. That's 10 spots. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Overshown. I like Overshown. I'm going Overshown out of Texas, getting a linebacker.
Definitely.
All right. Yes.
That's who I would have taken.
Yes, Cowboys. I will take this deal. I got a pick right after this, so I'm not really missing out on anybody, but I'm getting another extra pick. So I'm going from 124 to 129. I'm getting a 212th pick, a 7th-round pick. I'm going to roll with that. And then, look, here comes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They want to move all the way up. 126, 150. I'll get a couple more picks. I'm down with that. All right, 129. Really? Yes, sir. 129 here. So let's go ahead and tell you, look, I got a D tackle and a linebacker. I am helping Fangio. I am getting this defense built up. I'm rolling about it. And holy moly, I got to go. Take a look at this. Crap.
Bobby, you said you were going to make this quick.
I know, but I'm having too much fun. All right, so you know what, Fish Tank? I'm going Henley, man. I'm doubling down on linebacker. I can't pass that dude up. I know I still need a running back. I know I still need a tight end, but I'm rolling with that. And I'm going there. I'm going to reject that trade. And I am going to go to running back. Let me take a look at Schoonmaker is still there. I'm going Schoonmaker. Could block, could catch. Love it. Let's go to take a look at our running back situation. I'm going Rashawn Johnson out of Texas. Back up to Bijan Robinson. Love this guy. Think he's going to be a big-time player in the NFL. Rolling with that. So let's roll this down here. All right. So let's see. We got Ika, Overshown. We got a D tackle, 2 linebackers, a tight end, a running back, and Rashawn Johnson. Let's see. Who can I? You know what? I'm going to go with a guy that I like a lot, and I think will fit Miami's offense perfectly, and that's Hunter Luque out of North Dakota State, fullback. I'm rolling with him. He could play multiple.
Fullback.
Yeah, he could do way more. He's a runner. He's a pass catcher. He reminds me a lot of the guy out of San Francisco. He reminds me of Charles Clay, Hank. If you remember Charles Clay, it's a lot better than Charles Clay, but that's who he reminds me of. But don't judge my picks. I'm gonna go offensive guard Nick Broker here out of Ole Miss.
Don't judge my picks.
Don't judge my picks.
Just surprised me. That's all.
Watch Hunter Luque when you get a chance, Fish Tank.
I will.
We got one more pick on the board. So
I'm not doubting you, bro. I'm just saying I didn't expect it.
That's all right. All right. So take here. You know what? They were at the pro day yesterday for Penn State. I don't think they're going to sleep on any player in any position. I'm going to go Mitchell Tinsley, wide receiver out of Penn State. That's going to be my final pick. And there we go. This should run out. And there it is. All right. Sayaka Ika out of Baylor, defensive tackle. Linebacker, Demario Overshown. Linebacker, Dan Henley out of Washington State. Tight end, Luke Schoonmaker out of Michigan. That's Stephen Ross's alma mater. Rashawn Johnson out of Texas. Hunter Luque out of North Dakota State. Nick Brocker, offensive guard out of Ole Miss. And Mitchell Tinsley, wide receiver, Penn State. So there you go, guys. Bobby got some Chris Greer in him, acquiring more picks. Hey, I'm down with
Bobby
that.
went for the picks on this one.
That's right. Having some fun. And I saw somebody say defensive tackle. Yes, Miami has set themselves up to go best player available. And I don't think defensive tackle is out of the question, especially when Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer are on contract years. Miami, it could go defensive lineman or edge rusher with pick 51 or 84. Don't be surprised. Figure it out now. Fish Tank, we're at 50
Yes,
minutes.
sir.
We had a lot of fun today. Any final thoughts for tonight, sir, for today?
Yeah, I got to figure out how I'm going to get this table off the floor. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Hopefully you folks had fun, even though my picks were better than Bobby's. It's all right. Bobby did a good job. He got extra picks. So that was most important to Bobby on this
I
one.
thought about
Yes,
you
sir.
when I made those picks. I thought about you. I got double down on linebacker. I don't think you're gonna have any issues with linebacker after that
I
draft.
saw that double down. I actually liked that move.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hooked it up. You know, make me general manager and look what happens. Just saying, just telling you, look what happens. And I didn't take a quarterback. I did not take a quarterback.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I know, but I know some people, even Evan, who's a big Tua defender, took Hendon Hooker in his live mock a couple weeks back. So look at me, okay? I want a cookie. That's what I want. You say you want a cookie? Yes, I do. All right.
You didn't get a cookie for that one.
Whatever. You're a hater. No,
It says right here, I like Hank's picks.
Who said that?
Right here, Mass said it.
All right, Aladino, that's all good. It's all right. It's all right. Let's see here.
And here's one AB, defensive tackle. What's he doing?
I
And then
saw
King
that, and I
Short
explained
referring to you like you're a Chris Greer. I don't know if
Whatever.
that's good or bad.
Whatever. Whatever. And look what I addressed the running back. I addressed the tight end. Got two linebackers. Got a DT. So now I could be flexible with my defensive tackle situation.
I
got
like
a
it.
guard.
You're just missing a right tackle.
Well, that's what
No
the fans
problem.
think.
You're just
That's
missing
what the
the right
fans think.
tackle still.
There was no one available that I think was good enough at that point, but that's all right. I'm not going to force my pick. I'm going to go with
No, you shouldn't force it. When I picked, there was somebody good there.
I like McClendon out of Georgia. I don't think he gets a lot of love, but I think he should. He's a decent right tackle prospect. Might maybe not start right away, but has the potential to. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. This is Fin's Talk today on the Fin's Talk Sports Network. I'm Bobby Finstock. That's Fish Tank Hank. We will see you next Saturday. Like,
Fins up.
subscribe. Fins up.